Hello, my name is Chris Newman. I'm the owner and pilot of Cinechopper LLC. With the recent advancements in the RC multicopter industry, it's now easier than ever to learn how to fly. In this course, I give you all my secrets and everything I've learned in the past 3 years as being an aerial pilot. But before you get started in this hobby profession, there are a few things you should take into account before getting started. Alright, the first thing you should know about is the FAA. Right now it's a very gray area in regards to flying RCs for money. As I understand it, Congress has ordered the FAA to have a plan in place that will allow aerial photographers to get officially licensed and registered by 2015. I'm guessing you'll need to take your helicopter to an official FAA testing site, have your gear inspected, and complete some kind of safety and efficiency test. Until then, people will still fly. I've only heard a few cases where the FAA has ordered a fine, but in most of those instances the aerial pilots flew over property they didn't have permission to film over, flew directly over people, and flew in a reckless manner. Something to consider before getting started. Another thing to keep in mind is startup cost. Depending on the camera that you want to fly, startup costs can range from $1,500 to $15,000, and plan on costs related to keeping your gear in shape and upgrading. Another thing is liability insurance costs. You can also plan on spending around $1,000 to $2,000 in batteries annually. There's always a risk involved in this profession. Do not fly in situations where you may get into trouble. Do not fly around large groups of people, around airports higher than 400 feet, and over property that you do not have permission to fly over. If you have never flown an RC helicopter before, you'll be surprised at how tricky it is to learn. It takes months of practice, hard work, dedication, and passion. The process of learning to fly is teaching your brain a new method of muscle memory. It just takes time. The advantage of a multicopter is that they self-level and are much easier to learn than single-rotor helicopters. They can also be equipped with a GPS if you get into trouble, but it's best to be proficient with your aerial prowess so that you have no need for GPS unless you really need it. Though this profession has been around for about 10 years, it's now getting to a point where the helicopters are easier to fly, safer to fly, and the carrying capacity is greater. It's a great time to get into it and at least get set up by the time aerial photographers can officially get licensed. Well, that's it. If this is something you still would like to get into, consider taking my aerial class. I will teach you everything you need to know about aerial video and photography, saving you years of trial and error. Feel free to subscribe to my newsletter to stay in the loop.